All right, welcome back. Now, here pretty soon, I'm going to make a whole channel based on design comparisons of these new automobiles. Since I've been in the market, I've noticed a lot of crazy stuff and I want to talk about it. As many of you know, I have been into art my whole life. I've been into art my whole life. In high school, I used to compete with college students when it comes to art. I have had formal training, but I was advanced before I got any training at all. I just simply picked up a pencil and started to draw several different things. Well, I started with drawing people, and then I just progressed into other things. And I've always been a huge fan of automobile design my whole life, as far back as I can remember. My grandmother had a Lincoln and a Cadillac. A Cadillac was a favorite. She was really a Cadillac person. And my grandfather told me, he said, don't ever get a Cadillac. Here it is. He is the one who bought her the Cadillac and bought her the Lincoln. And then in his private conversation with me, salute in the chat room, everybody in the building. In his private conversation with me, suggested that I never get a Cadillac or a Lincoln. He said those cars are for like doctors and stuff like that. And I agree with him. He owned I think it was a 1984 Oldsmobile 98. He had an Oldsmobile 98. And man, I love that car. That car was just as good in quality as the Cadillac. But anyway, I want to get into the design of some of these newer automobiles. I don't believe there's any reason why American automobiles are not flying off the shelves right now. So I'm on Instagram and I see this advertisement. You know, Instagram here recently has started to put a lot of ads on, your feed, right? Salute. And yeah, I'm going to make my automobile design comparison channel because I need something lighthearted to delve into, some other type of hobby, instead of always dealing with Keisha. Keisha be driving up my blood pressure. So this Infiniti pops up on my screen. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice, but I ain't paying all that money for no Infiniti. Infiniti is the luxury version of Nissan, right? Infiniti is nothing but a souped-up Nissan, just like Cadillac is nothing but a souped-up Chevy. And back in the day, I don't know how many of y'all remember, Cadillac was nothing but a souped-up Chevy and a souped-up Oldsmobile. So I'm like, yeah, nice design, but ain't no way I'm going to get that. Then I thought to myself, I'm like, man, this thing does not look any better than the Buick full-size SUV. Don't get me wrong. It has a nice design. But in my opinion, it relies too heavily on aggressive angles. I think more automobiles should be made with passive angles. Passive angles gives the car a more professional look and a more expensive look. Passive angles or neutral angles, passive and neutral angles. Neutral angles are straight up and down. Passive angles are like this, from the top left right down. If it's on the right hand side of the vehicle, the angle goes from top left to lower right. If the angle is on the other side of the vehicle, then it's the top right to the lower left, which the use of those angles changes the automobile's appearance drastically. Right now, the best designed automobiles really is Cadillac. I would say Cadillac, because of their use of all different angles, their utilization of all different angles, which in my opinion, I think is mandatory if you want to give the vehicle a classy and expensive appearance. Okay, we're going to deal with the exterior and the interior. With interior, the interior should always there should always be a flow, and it should have a distinct personality. We'll get deeper into that, and that also goes for the exterior. But I think the Infiniti relies too heavily on aggressive angles. However, it was smart of them, and I think it saved this vehicle to include a predominant passive angle, and that is with the grille here. You see what I mean? This angle right here, that is a passive angle, and it is paired or accented with an aggressive angle. This angle right here is aggressive. If you were to change either one of those angles, it would look like a completely different vehicle. Chevy Traverse gave a real good example of that, and I'll deal with that a little later. But the thing is, the Infiniti starts off at around $50,000. The Buick starts off at around $40,000. They're both luxury SUVs. They're both luxury SUVs. And the fact that Buick is cheaper and is an American made vehicle, I don't understand why the Buicks are not rolling off the shelves. If I were to get an Infiniti, I'd get one with the full chrome grille. Now the Buick that I'm going to compare this to is not the newest version of the Buick Enclave. I don't know what they're doing with this newest version of Buick Enclaves. It is unattractive in my opinion. I mean, and it don't even look like a Buick no more. I don't know what they're doing. They're trying too hard to look like foreign automobiles. Is the only thing that I could think of. But if you ask me, the Buick Enclave has a more attractive exterior. The design is more attractive than the Infiniti. Okay? They put far more effort into the lower lights, the fog lights. Okay? Look at this. Look, this is the Infiniti. And this is all y'all did. This is all y'all offered the buyer. But look at the design of the Buick Enclave. I think these are called fog lights, right? I think they're fog lights. Right? They look like real lights all to themselves. They got several different angles. You got almost a neutral angle. And my bad, neutral angles are also left to right. Left to right. When you use a bunch of aggressive angles, it looks more like a race car. It looks more like a car that goes fast. Fast driving cars almost always rely heavily on aggressive angles because, obviously they want it to look aggressive. The only fast cars that really don't rely heavily on aggressive angles is Dodge. And some of the versions of Chevy, like Camaro, right? But you got like almost a neutral angle here, but it's, sort of semi-aggressive. And then a straight up neutral angle here, right? Straight up and down. And then it flips into a passive angle. The design team for Buick is just better. They have a better design team than Infiniti. I don't know what they're doing over there with Nissan and Infiniti. But you got the use of multiple angles with the fog lights. It's like, wow, you're offering design where it looks like they put in effort to give us attractive fog lights. You can tell by the design they're trying to give you as much as possible for your buck. More bang for the buck. That's how it's always been. Okay? So kudos to them for that. That gives the Enclave, the newest version of the Enclave, a strong advantage. With the front grille, with the Buick, I will say that the front grille on the Infiniti is more attractive. It stands out more. It's outlined in chrome as well. They got chrome on the upper part along the hood of the car, and they have it chromed out on the bottom and the sides. Whereas the Buick's grille, it has chrome along the bottom, but it's not prominent. It's not prominent at all, and there is no chrome along the hood. Now, just because there's no chrome doesn't mean it automatically looks less attractive. It's just not predominant, and it doesn't have to be predominant. It doesn't have to be predominant. As long as the design flows well, that is all that matters. And if you ask me, I think the addition of the chrome strip right across the front here makes up for the lack of chrome around the grille. Having chrome all around the grille, that doesn't always look attractive anyways. I don't really know what they did with the headlights, but I like it. It's not a crystal clear looking headlight like a lot of these newer cars have, where you can see the light bulb. It's like totally clear. You can see all the different light bulbs. You see the housing and everything. With the new Buick Enclave, you don't have that. They gave it more of a metallic look, and I think that was genius. Genius, especially in the way that it stands out from the crowd, and it doesn't look like every other vehicle out there. I just think the Buick Enclave on the outside is more attractive. It's more attractive than the Infiniti. It's just more attractive. And you could tell that they put more effort and time and passion into it, especially with the fog light areas. Okay, they just put a couple of little slits into the body, and there you go. Another thing I don't like with the Infiniti is, in my opinion, you should never see this on a luxury vehicle, is this plastic around the wheel and this plastic down here. Luxury vehicles, man, I should not see no plastic looking nothing on the outside. I don't want to see nothing that look like plastic, man. And you want to turn around and call this a luxury vehicle? No, that's a utility vehicle. That's a delivery vehicle. No plastic. If you do, you better make it as faint as possible. This thing makes it look like a Ford or something. What is this, a Ford Tempo? A Ford Explorer? No, not on no luxury vehicle. Buick has a huge advantage as far as design in that regard. I don't know why they haven't gone back to putting chrome around the wheel housing, but whatever. That gives the Enclave a distinct advantage, in my opinion, for the exterior. Now, with the interior, Infiniti, the interior for the Infiniti First of all, in my opinion, some of them offer horrible looking seats. Horrible looking seats, okay? The seats are almost everything. The seats I'm telling you, it's responsible for like 50% of your interior's attractiveness. It's in the seats, man. You have to have good looking seats to set an automobile's interior off. Okay? I'm going to give them a pass for that. But when you look at the interior, it's like it doesn't know what it wants to look like. Of course, like I've been saying, I'm not a fan of the display screen sitting on top of the dashboard as if it's some type of device. Like I said, it looked like a phone that somebody glued onto the dashboard. And with the Buick, like I've said, it's built into the dashboard like it should be. Like it should be, man. I mean, you can make a mistake and break this thing off from what it looked like. That looked goofy. It looks careless. It's like, okay, we can save ourselves the hassle of, building it into the dashboard, because you have to figure out how you want to, have the design. It has to fit into a certain or particular type of design. And it's like, oh, okay, this is much easier. Now, all we have to do is slap some air vents onto it. In my opinion, this interior looks lazy. It looks lazy. Just slapped together. They just threw anything in there. It's like, and there you go. There's your interior. Not feeling it. Whereas with the Buick, it has a more distinct identity. It knows what it wants to look like. It knows what type of mood it wants to set. That's another thing with automobile interiors. One of the goals of an automobile interior is to set a certain type of mood, to put the driver in a particular type of mood. The interior is more important than the exterior because you spend far more time inside the car. Okay? And whenever a car's interior looks like they took time, just like with the exterior, to give everything a certain design, it's going to look better. It's going to look more attractive. For example, look at the air vents on this Infiniti. All they did was cut some slots into the trim. This strip of material here, this is a part of the dashboard's trim. I don't know exactly what type of material it's supposed to be. It doesn't look like wood grain. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. But that's the dashboard trim. And all they did was basically cut some holes into it. No effort. No thought. They put no thought into it. Let's just cut some holes into it, and that's it. Boom, we're done. Whereas Buick actually gave the air vents a design. They gave it outer trim, and it's sort of, it has its own area. They didn't just cut holes into the trim. See what I mean? That is not lazy. That is not lazy. It looks like they put more time and care and thought into the Buick Enclave. Okay? Now, another aspect of an automobile's interior that's important is the steering wheel. The steering wheel. And just in my opinion, the Buick's steering wheel is more attractive. It's more attractive. More attractive, in my opinion. Okay? This thing look like it's got an odd shape to it. It wants to be a circle, but then down here it's like flat. Just a strange looking steering wheel to me. Don't like it. Don't like it. I'm rocking with the Buick all the way. As a matter of fact, like I've already said, I'm gonna make this my next vehicle. I'm getting a Buick Enclave. I'm gonna, of course, look for a good price, but the design, in my opinion, is better than most luxury vehicles. I'm telling you right now, the design is better than a lot of Lexus. Lexus look horrible. Their interiors look horrible right now. They look better than many, or most of the luxury vehicles that you're gonna pay an arm and a leg for. Another thing that Buick did that I like is they went back to their traditional appearance or their traditional design cues. I don't know if y'all remember those old Buicks, but with the old Buicks, they would have like the trim covered the entire length of the dashboard. And Buick went back to doing that. Again, I don't know if y'all remember the generation right before this generation Buick Enclave did not, it looked totally different. I'm about to pull and a picture of it up right now. Even though I prefer the exterior of the 2015 generation, I think it's 2015 generation Buick Enclave, I prefer the exterior. The interior, I wasn't a big fan of when it came to Buick. It looked like they did too much. You know, it's like they was trying to do too much. Here, let me share a picture here. Get up on here. Here we go. This is a good picture. Okay, now again, this is the generation right before the current generation Buick interiors. Now you can see that the trim, it actually does cover the entire length of the Buick, like almost in one catch, but it's way back here. It's not even the dashboard no more. I don't know what area of the vehicle this is, but it's way back here. It's hardly even noticeable. And it had more like a Toyota look to it, where your everything is right here and separated. A lot different from the subsequent generation. So they went back to old school design cues with the newer Buicks. Okay, again, this was the generation right before the current generation. What am I doing here? Hey, this is the current generation, and this was the generation right before it. Huge difference. Huge difference. Okay? It was nice looking, but I just thought I don't know, it was just too much. It seemed like there was too much wood grain here, like on the doors, and it made it look fake. It made the wood grain look too fake. Like right around here, right by the door handles. I prefer to tone down on the wood grain in some areas. Don't put it in areas where, it looks fake. That's the whole point of wood grain, that it looks like real wood. So, in my opinion, one man's opinion, the Infiniti is getting spanked by the Buick. Now, I really like the peanut butter interior for this Infiniti. Now, this is an advantage that the Infiniti has. This interior, you see how the seats are different? You see how they got this pattern woven into the seats? They also have it on the dashboard. Now, that gives the Infiniti interior an advantage. It makes it look more expensive. like they put more thought into it. Okay, that's an advantage for Infiniti. Buick, y'all better smarten up and try to do the same thing. Like I said, this newest version of Buick, I don't know what they're doing, man. This thing don't even look like a Buick. Here, let me pull up a picture of this thing here. I have fallen out with Buick because of this, man. Like, what in the world are y'all doing? I don't like how they mess up the old school vehicles like Buick, Cadillac. Y'all better put more time and effort into the design of these vehicles, man. Back in the day, it was all about the design, man. And y'all messing up big time. Look at this thing here, man. Look at this. Let me. This is a Buick. This is a 2026 Buick Enclave. Man, this look like a Honda. Y'all done made this Buick look like a Toyota or something. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Whoever get the design team, y'all got to get them out of here. To get them out of here. They removed the Buick emblem. They changed, first of all, changed the Buick emblem and put it onto the hood. And what is going on with this grill? What are y'all trying? What kind of look are y'all trying to get here? Okay. Now, again, you see all artists do this. They include both passive and aggressive angles. The grill right here, the predominant angle is a passive angle. But man, that don't look like no Buick. Don't look like no Buick, man. More than anything, if I get a vehicle, I want it to look like whatever it is. I get a Cadillac, I want it to look like a traditional Cadillac. You know, simple as that. Now let me show you something else. Wait a minute. Show y'all something else here. When it comes to these angles, I love how just a slight change of angles will give an automobile a completely different look. A completely different look with just the slightest changes of angles. Angles are crucial to the design of all automobiles. Now this is a good picture right here. Let me use this one. Copy image address. Now this is what in the world? This is a 2015 Chevy Traverse. Trying to get a good image here. Here we'll go with this one. We'll go with this one. Okay, 2015 Chevy Traverse. Now look at this. This version uses almost exclusively aggressive angles, which I think ruined it. It kind of ruined it. Aggressive angle here on the top of the headlight. On the side of the headlight, another aggressive angle. The bottom, another one. The fog lights, more aggressive angles. The lower grille, more aggressive angles. But at least they put some thought and care into the lower grille. A lot of automobiles, they just don't put no effort, nothing into the lower grille. It's just a piece of plastic. But you look at the grille, it's like exclusively aggressive angles. Pay close attention to the grille. Aggressive angle here, aggressive angle here. The lower part also includes aggressive angles. The lower grille, aggressive angles. Now, the very next generation, do you know what these jokers did? In the very next generation, all they did was include passive angles, a few passive angles, and boom, they had a whole new generation of Chevy Traverse. This is perfect. Look at this. Let me make sure y'all looking at the right thing here. Well, actually, I could do it like this. Hopefully, y'all looking at the. Yeah. Now, look at this. This is the subsequent Chevy Traverse. Do you see what they did here? This is the one that gets like almost all aggressive angles. Again, it makes it look more like a race car. You know, with these automobiles, the front of the vehicle is sort of replicates a human face with eyes, nose, and a mouth. And, you know, of course, a faster car is going to look like angrier. All they did with the subsequent Traverse is eliminate a few aggressive angles and include a few passive angles. Namely, right here. Do y'all see? I'm going to get a better picture of the Chevy Traverse. Let's do a 2016 Chevy Traverse. Yeah, we'll do a 2016. Yeah. Got a lot of good images from this one. All right, now look at this. I had a dog on it. Wait a minute. What in the world? Okay, what is this? Okay, let me see if I can use this one. Can I use that one? Yeah, perfect. All right, can y'all see this? You should be able to see this. You should be able to see this. Look at this area right here, like the tip of the headlight right there. These designers. Okay, this is the 2016. The very subsequent Traverse, all they did was use a passive angle right in that area. And I'm telling you, it gave it a whole different look. You see that? It doesn't come to, it's not a complete point anymore. All they did was cut off that point and instead include a passive angle. That's all they did. Wait a minute. See? All they did with the newer Traverse, and this is what they do with a lot of these vehicles. When they want to create a new version, all they do is eliminate a few passive or aggressive angles and install an opposite angle. That's it. That's it. Being an automobile designer, it's got to be one of the easiest jobs in the world. Now, also, look at the grill. Like I said, the grill, all aggressive angles. This one's aggressive. That's aggressive. That's aggressive. And look at the newer Traverse. All they did, like I said, was eliminate some of the aggressive angles, or the better thing to say is that they included more passive angles on the subsequent generation. Passive angle here. And that's really all it needs. Here, they put one here. They put them in the fog lights. You see that? That's real distinct. In the previous generation, even the fog lights had aggressive angles. You see that? It was just like the headlights. All they did was cut that out and instead give it passive angles. It's real slick how they do this. They make little subtle changes and roll it out as the new version, and everybody is in awe. Well, wow. Ooh, look at the newer vehicle. And all they're doing is playing with angles. Some of them are very subtle, but all they're doing is playing with angles. Okay? But yeah, 100%, my opinion, the generation between 2022 or 2021 and 2025 Buick Enclave is whooping the Infiniti Q60. Think twice before you. I know the modern thing is to get a foreign. I don't know why people are so obsessed with foreigns. You're only making things harder for America. Buy American. It used to be where Americans were more committed to purchasing American-made cars. There ain't really nothing special about these foreign vehicles. They cost more, and to get repairs on them costs more, and all kind of stuff. You want to fix something by yourself and you can't, because you got to do crazy stuff like drop the engine and all kind of stuff just to change a tire or something, change the battery. My vehicle right now, you got to flip and take even though it's a Dodge, you got to take the doggone tire off just to change the battery. But them foreigns, man, and I heard that on some vehicles, they charge you like a luxury tax or a foreign tax. They got all kind of stuff popping off. Now, this is the Buicks. I think that their peanut butter version of Enclave. But the absence of the color in the dashboard, I think, gives the Infiniti an advantage. But I would still take the Buick over the Infiniti. So I might have my biases. I'm American, and I had a lot of uncles who they all worked for American car companies. So I grew up working on American cars, driving American cars, because they would let me drive them. When I would want, as a youngster, when I would want extra money, I would have to, they would let me wash their cars and they would pay me. So I grew up washing American cars, sort of just bonding with and having an attachment with American cars. American cars, I'm just saying, give them a chance, man. Give them a chance. I know y'all hear these rap lyrics, oh, foreign. Oh, I'm whipping a foreign. I'm driving a foreign. Man, some of those foreigns lose a lot of value fast. A lot of them lose a lot of value fast. As soon as you drive them off the lot, and especially after, 3, 4, 5 years, lose a lot more value than a lot of these American cars, except for Honda. As we all know, Hondas seem like they last forever, right? But there's no stupid device sitting up on the dashboard looking like it was glued onto the dash. That is so unattractive to me. I don't know why that annoys me so much. It throws you off. It's like, man, what is that sitting on the dashboard? Oh, that's mine. It's built into man, get that thing out of here, man. That's supposed to be built into the dashboard, man. There is no a piece of the display sitting up on the dashboard. It's got a more distinct design, and it has more personality because of the distinct design. You can't mistake it for anything else. I'm telling you, automobiles with a strong personality are generally more valuable. They're more valuable and more attractive. Ain't nothing worse than a big confused, jumbled together, thrown together looking interior or exterior for that matter. So again, pretty soon, I don't know when, I'm going to start my automobile design comparison, and Listen, I'm going to do reviews on some of y'all's vehicles, and I might say some bad things. Don't take it personally. But if you got a goofy looking automobile, boy, I'm going to be calling it out. Right? Salute everybody in the building. I will see y'all on the next live.